Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. We start with the latest on the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal. Reports say that an aide of Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has confirmed that the country has accepted a proposal put forward by US President Joe Biden. Biden has announced a three-phase plan for a ceasefire in Gaza. Netanyahu's aide reportedly said that Biden's proposal was, and I quote, "a deal we agreed to. It's not a good deal, but we dearly want the hostages released, all of them." A mass shooting incident killed one person in the U.S. state of Ohio. A dozen others were left injured. A shooter opened fire at a birthday party in the city of Akron. According to the police, someone from the party fired back. The police are yet to make any arrests in the incident. Former US President Donald Trump has joined the social media platform TikTok. He had tried to ban TikTok while he was president because it is owned by the China-based tech giant ByteDance. But now he has joined the platform to ramp up campaign activities for November's US presidential election. Trump gained around 3 million followers on the platform within hours of joining. In South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa's ANC party has lost its parliamentary majority. The ANC's support fell to a little over 40% from more than 57% in 2019. This is the first time that the ANC has lost its majority in the last 30 years. Ramaphosa will need to form a coalition if he is to return to power. He called on the other South African political parties to work together for the good of the country. Mexico has elected its ruling party candidate Claudia Sheinbaum as its first female president. Mexico's Electoral Institute declared her a winner after a quick count showed that she had received 58 to 60% of the votes. Sheinbaum is a climate scientist and former mayor of Mexico City. The 61-year-old will begin her 6-year presidential term on October 1st. Now for updates from India's parliamentary election. Exit polls for India's parliamentary elections are out. According to the News 18 mega exit poll, the ruling BJP-led National Democratic Alliance is likely to win between 355 and 370 parliamentary seats out of a total of 543. The opposition INDIA bloc is likely to get between 125 and 140 seats. The exit poll also predicts that other parties and candidates will win between 42 and 52 seats. After the exit polls, Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of the state of West Bengal and a major opposition figure, said that the predictions were manufactured at home 2 months ago. Banerjee claimed that such exit polls had no value. She said that the pollsters had got their predictions wrong in the 2016 and 2021 Bengal Assembly elections as well. The Election Commission of India has announced repolls at 2 polling stations in West Bengal. This is after an alleged clash broke out between workers from the Trinamool Congress Party and the BJP amid the 7th and final phase of polling on June 1st. The repolling is taking place today, a day before the final counting of the votes is scheduled. After the last phase of the parliamentary election concluded on Saturday, both the opposition INDIA bloc and the ruling BJP approached India's Election Commission. The opposition asked the Election Commission to ensure that all guidelines are followed during counting. The BJP warned the poll body against coordinated attempts by the opposition to undermine the integrity of the electoral process. Meanwhile, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written a letter addressed to all the citizens of the country. The PM was in the southern city of Kanyakumari for a 45-hour meditation session after the election. In his letter, he said that he now feels a boundless flow of energy and that meditation made the election chaos disappear. Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, is back in jail. He surrendered at Delhi's Tihar jail on June 2nd at the end of his 21-day interim bail that was granted by India's Supreme Court. He is in judicial custody till at least Wednesday. Kejriwal was arrested in an agency on March 21st in connection with a money laundering probe. With only hours left for election results, the supporters of the JDS party leader H.D. Kumaraswamy have shaved their heads to pray for his victory. The JDS has formed an alliance with the BJP in the state of Karnataka. Movie theatres in the state of Maharashtra will be screening the live results for India's parliamentary election tomorrow. This will be in cities like Mumbai, Pune, Nashik and Nagpur. The screening will commence at 9 in the morning and run for 6 hours. While results for the parliamentary election are to be announced tomorrow, the results for 2 state assembly elections have already been released. India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party has secured a landslide victory in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. The party has won 46 seats out of 60 seats in the state assembly, securing a majority for the 3rd consecutive term. Meanwhile, in the state of Sikkim, the ruling Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, or SKM, is set for a 2nd term. The SKM won 31 out of 32 assembly seats in the state. Sikkim had recorded a voter turnout of 79.88% when it went to polls on April 19th. In climate news, India's death toll from heat-related causes has crossed 50. Nearly 25,000 cases of heat stroke have been registered from March to May. India's Met Department has issued a heat wave alert today for north and central India. Monsoon floods have claimed the lives of at least 14 people in Sri Lanka. The island has been battered by monsoon storms, and these have led to triggered flash floods and mudslides. Thousands of people were forced to evacuate their houses after heavy rain caused flooding in southern Germany. A firefighter lost his life after his boat capsized while he was trying to rescue trapped residents. His body was recovered yesterday from over 80 kilometers away from Munich. A growing grass fire that began over the weekend in the U.S. state of California has consumed thousands of acres of land. Firefighters are working tirelessly to contain the wildfire. Dozens of people had to evacuate their houses amid the burning flames. Authorities say that the cause of the fire is still under investigation. The French police arrested an activist who attacked a Monet painting in Paris. The activist stuck a red sheet on the painting and then glued her hands to the wall. However, the painting was covered by glass, so it sustained no damage. A criminal complaint would be registered against this woman. On to business and tech news. The Indian stock market indices Sensex and Nifty have soared to a new record high. The Sensex rose to surpass the 76,500 level, while Nifty touched the 23,300 mark. Both indices jumped by nearly 1% during the trading session. The market indices touched new highs ahead of the election results tomorrow. Exit polls have predicted that the ruling BJP-led alliance will secure a majority. The group of oil-producing countries, OPEC+, have decided to continue with production cuts until late 2025. OPEC+ comprises of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and some other oil-producing nations, including Russia. The influential grouping has been reducing oil output with the aim of raising prices. Since 2022, OPEC+ members have slashed production by nearly 6 million barrels per day. The share sale of oil giant Saudi Aramco kicked off yesterday. As per reports, shares were sold out within hours after the bidding had started. The Saudi government-owned firm was offering up to a 0.7% stake to investors. Aramco's share sale is expected to raise up to $13 billion. Chinese fast fashion brand Shein is reportedly planning to file an initial public offering in the UK. The firm is expected to file market listings with the British market regulator next week. Shein wants to list its stock on the London Stock Exchange. Qatar Airways is in talks with plane makers Airbus and Boeing. The airline CEO said that they want to place a large order for new aircraft. The order will likely include Airbus A350 jets and Boeing 777X jets. Earlier, it was reported that Qatar Airways was also looking to order over 200 planes. The head of the International Air Transport Association says that the next CEO of Boeing should understand what is behind the current crisis at the American plane maker. The International Air Transport Association represents over 300 airlines globally. Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun is due to leave the company by the end of this year. Calhoun decided to step down after the plane maker was involved in a number of mishaps this year. Meanwhile, Boeing will once again try to launch its space capsule, the Starliner, on June 5th. The inaugural test flight of the Starliner was cancelled over this weekend. This was after an issue was found in the ground power supply. The Starliner aimed to take a two-member crew to the International Space Station on its first flight. American chipmaker NVIDIA will roll out its next-generation chips by 2026. NVIDIA's chips are known for powering artificial intelligence functions and data centers. The firm has named its new AI chips Rubin. The firm's CEO, Jensen Huang, announced the chip's release timeline at Taiwan's Computex trade show yesterday. During the show, chipmaker AMD also unveiled its new artificial intelligence processor. The processor is called the MI325X Accelerator. It's expected to be available in the market by the end of this year. The chipmaker also introduced new processors for laptops that help enhance the gaming experience. Microsoft announced a $3.2 billion investment in Sweden. The American firm wants to expand its cloud computing and artificial intelligence infrastructure in the country. This is Microsoft's largest investment in Sweden. The tech giant has also pledged to train nearly 250,000 people with AI skills. Now for some sports news. We begin with updates from the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup. Namibia began their World Cup campaign on a winning note in Barbados. They beat Oman in a super over, the first super over at the T20 World Cup since 2012. Oman were bowled out for 109 runs in 19.4 overs. Namibia managed to reach but not surpass 109 in their innings. But in the super over, Namibia scored 21 to take the game by 11 runs. The West Indies, one of the World Cup's co-hosts, began their campaign by securing a 5-wicket victory over Papua New Guinea. The match was played in the country of Guyana. Papua New Guinea scored 136 in the first innings, but the West Indies managed to chase their target with 1 over to spare. Former Indian cricketer Gautam Gambhir has said that he would love to coach the Indian national men's team if given the chance. The remarks came after India's cricket board, the BCCI, invited applicants for the head coach role. The current head coach, Rahul Dravid, is set to vacate the position after the ongoing T20 World Cup concludes. In football, Real Madrid claimed their 15th Champions League title after defeating Borussia Dortmund 2-0 on Saturday night. Dani Carvajal's header from a Toni Kroos corner in the 74th minute broke the deadlock. Then Vinicius Jr. sealed the win with a goal in the 83rd. Real Madrid are reportedly preparing to announce the signing of Kylian Mbappe as a free agent. The France captain is believed to be joining the Spanish Giants after his contract at Paris Saint-Germain expires on June 30th. Real are reportedly set to confirm Mbappe's arrival next week before the upcoming Euros. Former Everton striker Kevin Campbell is unwell and has been admitted to a hospital. The club said that the 54-year-old became ill last week. Campbell was also a member of Arsenal's league title-winning squad in 1990-91. In tennis, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz defeated Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime 6-3, 6-3, 6-1 on Sunday to advance to the quarterfinal of the French Open. Alcaraz will face Stefano Tsitsipas in the quarterfinals. In the men's doubles, Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden overcame a stiff first-round challenge from Brazilians Orlando Luz and Marcelo Zorman. Bopana and Ebden beat the Brazilian duo 7-5, 4-6, 6-4 to advance to the second round. But the Indian-Australian pair were handed a walkover in the second round, so now Bopana and Ebden face India's N. Balaji and Mexico's Miguel Reyes Varela in the third round today. World number one Iga Swiatek continued her march to a fourth French Open title. She demolished her former junior rival Anastasia Potapova with 6-0, 6-0 in 40 minutes. Swiatek has advanced to the quarterfinals at Roland Garros. Potapova was playing in the second week of a Grand Slam for the first time in her career. 22-year-old Yuka Saso from Japan became the youngest player to win 2 US Women's Open titles in the LPGA Tour. Saso didn't start the final day in the lead, but she scored 5 straight pars before making birdies on the 12th, 13th, 15th and 16th holes to seal her victory. In entertainment news, Bridgerton actor Jessica Madsen has opened up about her being queer this Pride Month. She took to Instagram to post that she's in love with a woman and she is loud and proud about it. Pride Month is annually celebrated in June to honor the LGBTQ+ community. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's daughter, Shiloh, has filed a petition to drop Pitt from her surname. She reportedly filed the petition on her 18th birthday. Shiloh has hired her own lawyers to make this happen. Adele yelled at a homophobic heckler at her Las Vegas concert that happened over the weekend. The heckler tried ruining the concert's vibe by hurling offensive homophobic comments. Adele didn't waste any time shutting him down. This happened after she dedicated her Las Vegas show to her queer fans and friends. According to reports, Joe Jonas and Stormy Bree have decided to part ways. They were dating for the last 5 months. The former couple was spotted together in January this year. They are yet to make a comment on this. South Korean singer Jungkook has announced a new single. The song, titled Never Let Go, will release on the 7th of June. His agency stated that the track is dedicated to his fans. This would be his first solo track since the release of his 2023 album, Golden. Megan Thee Stallion has set the release date for her upcoming album. She'll release it on the 28th of June. The self-titled record will be released under her own production house. The Garfield movie has emerged as last week's top-performing film at the North American box office. In the second week of its release, the film collected $14 million. The film has now grossed $51.5 million in North America, and this brings the film's global tally to $152 million. The Garfield movie was released on the 17th of May. Supermodels Gigi and Bella Hadid have donated $1 million to aid groups working in Gaza. They wanted to support the Palestinian children and families in the war-torn region. The money will be used to fund aid groups that are assisting the people in need. These groups are helping people with food and medical programs. Dozens of Star Wars fans gathered in Argentina's capital city of Buenos Aires. They gathered to celebrate the legacy and popularity of Star Wars. The attendees donated non-perishable food items to people who are in need. Despite the severe weather, many of them turned up in costume. Media tycoon Rupert Murdoch has tied the knot with his 67-year-old girlfriend Elena Zukova. This is 93-year-old Murdoch's 5th wedding. The wedding ceremony took place at Murdoch's vineyard in California. Zukova is a retired molecular biologist. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.